Guys, what's up? It's your girl Sarah back at again with another video, and in this video I have a little project, a lifelong project of mine that I want to share with you guys. So, as we all know, all Republicans are being very much censored right now, or not even Republicans, just anybody that disagrees with the Democrats' agenda right now is being very much censored on the internet, like all forms of social media, even to the point where they literally banned Trump from all social media. So it's right now like very, I guess you can call it unconstitutional or whatever you want to call it. It's not great, and I can't imagine the textbooks in the future that talk about, this current year and last year. I can't imagine it would actually tell the God honest truth about it. I can imagine there'd be a lot of corruption in that textbook, and there would be a lot of things that they'd miss out, or a lot of things that they'd over exaggerate on, or say it wasn't that big of a deal, and so on and so forth. So what I decided to do is I made my own notebook, which is this is like the most amount of like pages I've ever binded together. So like this big of a notebook is like my personal record of book binding. But aside for that, the reason why I binded this book together, and I even wrote an introduction in the front here, even though my handwriting is really small. I hope the people of the future can still, read my small handwriting. But the purpose of this book is for me to write down all the things that happens on a daily basis as I see it in these pages, so that students of the future can use this as a reference. Like if they believe like some people now that they see the textbooks that discuss hundreds of years ago, a lot of us question it and are like, is this actually true? And we know that even the textbooks now have corruption and a lot of lies and deception into it. So I can't imagine the history textbooks in the future will be all that great. So that's what I'm making this for. And from the beginning, I'm going to literally write from the beginning, and like from the beginning of January 2020 and the corona stuff, the protests, the riots, everything. Now, I do have a small little theory that in the future how this book will be treated. Either this will be treated as a nice resource, I hope so. In a perfect world, that would be the case. But in a realistic world, this book, in a realistic world, like where maybe the Democrats actually get their way forever, this book will probably be treated like George Orwell's 1984. And as we all know, that book was banned in America for being pro-communist, and then banned in Russia and China for being anti-communist, even though the book was literally shitting on communism as a whole. But generally, my point is, it was a controversial thing, but as we all know, even though it's controversial, a lot of people still read 1984, and a lot of school productions made, like Broadway, not Broadway. Broadway plays have been made of it, and then school productions have made their own plays of it. So I hope that even though maybe, let's say, the dystopia of 1984 becomes true in, the future, I hope that people still read this in a sense of like when people read it, it becomes like an eye-opener rather than, the corrupt textbooks that will be. I feel like I'm blabbing on too much about this, and I think you pretty much got the point of what I'm doing here. But, yeah, so anyone who wants to send me in some articles, some photos, or even some memes of particular events that happened throughout 2020 and even right now, my social media links will be down in the description below, because along with the stories that I write down and what happened, I will be including some photos. Like, for example, I'll be including some photos of the Black Lives Matter protests, Antifa, the riots, and all sorts of other kinds of stuff, and even the storming of the Capitol. I'm going to include photos of that, little tidbits of articles, and everything. So if you want to submit any of them to me so I can include them in here, just shoot me a DM, or I'll even put my email down below if you want to email some to me. And yeah, I guess that's to sum it up the video, that's it. And to all of the Democrats in power right now, if you are watching this, or even any Democrats in power in the future that are watching this, I want to say one thing to you. Go screw yourself. I'm not even joking. Unless if you're one of the good Democrats, which I haven't seen before, so to most of you, I hope you suffer in hell when you die.